Hi. Hi. I'm going to be talking about the elasticity of demand. But before we talk about that, we first have to talk about the law of demand, which states that consumers will be willing to buy more or less of a product depending on a price change. It also tells us how sensitive consumers are to that price change. Using this, we can divide goods into two main categories: elastic and inelastic goods. Elastic goods have relatively flat slopes. This is because any change in price has a relatively large effect on the demand curve. A perfectly elastic good has a completely horizontal demand curve. This means that any change in price will cause all the consumers to no longer want to buy the product. However, the opposite is true of the inelastic good. Inelastic goods have a relatively steep slope, which means any change in price has a relatively small effect on the demand curve. Perfectly inelastic goods have a completely vertical slope, which means that any change in price will have no effect on the quantity that consumers will want to buy. However, it's important to note that both perfectly inelastic goods and perfectly elastic goods are only theoretical, because in our world today, no good exists where you would pay infinite amount of money for or buy an infinite quantity of.